most dangerous places to live in the world. Number 5. Western Sahara. A sparsely populated desert stretching from Mauritania to Morocco, the Western Sahara is one of the most unforgiving places to live in the world. Not only is it a desert subject to extreme temperature fluctuations and severe drought, it's also home to an active insurgency. In 1875, Morocco took control of 80% of the Western Sahara, much to the dismay of the recently decolonized Sahrawi people. Morocco took over the area and has been the de facto governor since. However, in 2020, peace negotiations between the indigenous Sahrawi people and the Moroccan government developed once again. Despite most nations siding with Morocco, many leftist movements around the world work to support the independent struggle of the Sahrawi Republic.
Next up in our number 4 spot, Saudi Arabia. Officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, this country happens to be a bit of a mixed bag of requirements depending on the country of origin the visitor is hailing from. On one hand, citizens from Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, or the UAE do not require a visa for entry and can pretty much travel freely. However, if you are coming from just about any other country, a special visa application is absolutely required. Now, beyond that, most of their limited tourism tends to be for religious pilgrimages anyways, but even if you are traveling for leisure, similarly to other countries on the list, your application must still be sponsored by a group, organization, or a citizen of the country. Plus, if you are a woman, you're not permitted to travel alone and must be met by either a male relative or male sponsor at the airport. So definitely not the girls' trip destination. But seriously, the official stance is that visiting this country is an extremely high-risk decision due to conflicts with bordering countries as well as kidnappings, so truly there are more relaxing places to choose from.
Number 3. South Sudan. Ever since 2011 when South Sudan split from Sudan, there has been instability. However, the internal civil war, which erupted in 2013, has turned many parts of the country into a bloodbath. Although the civil war officially ended in 2020, there is ongoing fighting and instability. In rural areas, roving armed gangs and warlords rule, extorting the locals out of their wealth and clashing with one another. In the cities, organized crime has run rampant as the government fails to meet the citizens' needs and people are forced to turn to crime and the black market to survive. South Sudan is also home to some extremist groups which seek to unify Africa into a singular caliphate.
Coming in at number 2, Syria. I'm sure this one doesn't come as much of a shock, considering what we know about the major conflicts that have been going on here, but of course, that is why I had to add it to today's list. If you Google the Canadian government travel advisories, this country comes up in giant red letters saying to avoid at all costs and that if you are here, you need to leave immediately. Sadly, this is due to the threat of terror from organized extremist groups, as well as politically motivated kidnappings by these same groups that often result in disappearance or death of a victim. Beyond the already terrifying things I've mentioned, women are especially at great risk traveling here alone, and there is also a major issue with pickpocketing, mugging, and general petty theft. Plus, since 2011, most commercial airlines have suspended flights anyways, so it's practically impossible to enter, even if you tried. That being said, if you fill out the required paperwork, there is a chance you can go, but I mean truly, this place is an active war zone, so traveling there is 100% a bad idea.
And coming in at number 1 is Ganges River. The Ganges River is one of the holiest rivers in India and is integral to numerous religious rites. The Ganges is representative of the goddess Ganga in Hinduism and carries a massive religious significance. Bathing in the water is considered to give great blessings and purity. As well, the Ganges is used for burials due to its holiness. This is where the danger comes in. Not only is the Ganges rather polluted, generations of bodies being released in the water has led to a massive shark infestation of the waters. There's some sharks like the Ganges shark, which is unlikely to attack a human. However, the river is also home to bull sharks, one of the most dangerous and aggressive sharks in existence. Bull sharks are in the top 3 for dangerous sharks. And while sharks usually don't bother humans, the high presence of human flesh in the river may have changed these sharks' appetites. It's said that many who bathe in the river at night are never heard from again.